All right, guys. Well, we are finally here. We do apologize. We were having a glitch with the previous link. And so, as with anything inside of technology, we have to adjust and adjust with grace and be patient and flexible, which we have done. So, I'm excited that you hung with us. We're sorry for the delay in getting started. We pretty much like to be on time because we know everybody has things to do, including us. So thank you for being patient. We are working now on getting all the panelists who were on the previous link that has the glitch, the new link. So Felicia's jumping back on, Nikki and Lorena are jumping back on, Kiwi is jumping back on, and whoever else is going to be jumping on. So they're coming here. They're getting here slowly but surely. All right, guys, so much better now, right?
Yes, yes.
All right, Felicia, you are muted.
Oops. I was asking, did you all get the link to Adrian?
I posted it in the leadership group, so he should be okay.
Okay.
Yes. Our brother has our back, I tell you.
Yes, he does. I knew when he was kind of like, uh-oh.
Yeah. When I looked at the time, I said, oh, if Adrian calling, it's because we need to start. All right. Let's try to tidy up a couple other things here and make sure everyone is on track.
Lorena's on her way too.
Okay, awesome.
All right.
All right. All right. So it looks like everyone's jumping back on here. People are making comments. All women working towards being successful. Oh, she's talking to Ricky, Melanie. I guess they're having all these conversations on the channel, which is cool. Shauna, I see you. Welcome. Okay. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And by the way, before we officially get started, I just want to make note of those of you that are watching it on our YouTube channel, the Dream Team Leadership channel. This is a channel that we've had probably since 2012, I believe it was that we created it. But, you know, we create so many things sometimes and we forget how much stuff we actually have out there. And someone on the leadership team suggested, I don't know if it was Shalonda or it was somebody, suggested that we just use our leadership channel to host the Hangouts. Duh, what a brilliant idea. So we got that going, and then Apple, before she had to go to an appointment this evening, she took a little bit of time to create the background for the channel, which was done spur of the moment. So this is, you know, we haven't started the recording or anything yet. Oh, no, it's being recorded now. So Apple, if you're watching this recording, thank you so much. We appreciate you for taking some time to make sure our image is the way you would have it as our communications director, our visual communications director. So we appreciate that. Kiwi, can we hear you now? No, we can't. All right. Are you unmuted, Kiwi? In the top right, you see the little microphone. I see you saying yes, and is it unmuted? Oops. Uh-oh, she's gone again. Okay, well, let's just kind of go ahead. I think we can hear Felicia say yes or something here.
Here.
Okay, Lorena.
Yeah.
All right, Nicole. We need to hear you.
Hi.
Okay. Nikki.
Yes.
And Shalonda.
Hello.
Okay, great. So this is what we'll do. If it is Kiwi's settings that we can't fix right now that's prohibiting her from, or prohibiting us from hearing her, then what we will do is, Kiwi, you can see the chat function, right? Not, yeah, something. Can you see the chat function? You should see the chat to the left, and when you click on the thing that says chat, then over to the right, you'll see a bar, a window open up. Not really a window, but the screen will kind of slide over, and you should see the chats that we have in there as panelists. Do you see that? Because if you can see that, then you can type and communicate to us, and then we can verbalize what you have in there, and we can keep the show moving. Do you see the chat function? Okay, type in there or something so I can see. Type a hello. I see where it says you joined the group chat, so that's cool. We're moving forward. Kiwi! Are you typing?
I think it's something I just don't think her speakers is working. I don't think she knows where to find the chat because I can hear some feedback when she's attempting to speak. So it sounds
the chat says Kiwi and McDowell has joined the group chat.
Yeah, but she can't see it. She has to click the icon. It's not automatic.
Oh.
Kiwi, look to the left and click that top icon that's blue with the lines going across it, and that's how you'll open up the chat bar.
I got your message on Facebook, but you should still be able to unmute it. Even if it's muted, you should be able to unmute it.
Okay, well, let's do this. Let's do this. If she can type on Facebook, right? And Shalonda, if you can kind of review what she's saying on Facebook as I ask her and we communicate with her, then can you just verbalize it for us via her Facebook information?
Yes.
Okay, then we'll just do it that way. Okay, Kiwi? You're gonna, when we ask you stuff or talk, we're gonna need you to type it on Facebook. Shalonda is going to interpret that for us so that we know what you're saying. Fair enough? Yes.
Said I typed and sent it, but I unmuted it, but still no sound. So I'm reading what she's saying, so it's like I'm her voice.
Yeah.
I'm
so
honored.
don't worry about the sound anymore. We're just gonna proceed, and you're just gonna type on Facebook, and Shalonda's gonna be your voice for tonight. Is that okay? Okay, great. All right, so now that we can get the party started, my name is Tracy Walker, and I want to welcome all of the Dream Team members, and specifically our women of the Dream Team. And if you're watching it as a guest in a recording, we want to welcome you as well. And this was a wonderful idea. Nicole and I were having a conversation one day, and she said, you know, I think it'd be great if we did something for the women in the community. And clearly that made sense. And she talked about a name that she had found from Kiwi, I believe. In fact, Nicole, you can just tell the story. I mean, you're right there. I don't have to tell the story for you. How did you come up with this, and why are we even here right now?
Well, you know, before we did the Atlanta event, Kiwi, I was riding in the car with Kiwi and Donyetta. Hey, Donyetta, if you're watching. And Kiwi is so sweet. You know, she always showers us with gifts. So she had a gift for almost all of us on here. She had a gift for, I think, Lorena and Nikki. She had one for you and I. And if you guys don't know, Kiwi is an artist. She has a business where she puts some amazing art together on notepads and things like that. And they're really cute, fun, and funky, and she makes them custom based on your personality. So she had one for, I can't remember who it was for. Was it Lorena? I think was it Lorena? Yeah, it was Lorena. She was like, this is what I got for Lorena, because she just talked about how funky and fiery Lorena is. And when she thought of Lorena, she came up with, show the picture. So she came up with this art photo for Lorena, and it basically says, girls just want to have fun. And she showed it to us, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that is genius. Hi, Alexis. But she was telling us, you know, she told us where the concept came from, and I said, you know what, Kiwi, I'm gonna get with Tracy. That's gonna be our new women's theme within the within the DT AIG core. Is we're really gonna take this and run with it. We're probably gonna have T-shirts, you know, for the DT women. I just thought it was a brilliant idea because girls love to have fun, but they love to have funds. So we just talked about it, and I think Kiwi's actually frozen. Oh, she's not frozen. She was just looking like a model for a minute. But yeah, so Kiwi, you did a phenomenal job. I've never actually heard that before, and I thought it was the greatest, most befitting name we could ever have. So, you know, talk to Tracy. Tracy said, let's do it. And here we are with Miss Kiwi Ann's amazing, brilliant concept. So yay!
Yay! Thank you, Kiwi.
Yay!
So while she's typing or whatever, what most people don't know is that we pretty much just ran with it, Nicole. I would say. And I mean, I guess that's just kind of how we do. We hear an idea, and it's really the speed of implementation, right? That we talk about, money, love, speed. So the speed of implementation, we just kind of ran with the idea. And then Nicole goes, oh my God, did anybody speak to Kiwi about using the name? And so I thought, oh, damn. All right. So I called Kiwi. I called her up and left her a voice message. I knew she was probably working. And then she called me back. And I was so humble. And I said, listen, we talked about using your name, and in fact, we kind of already stole it, kind of, and hopefully you will grace us with allowing us to continue using it. However, always giving proper credit where credit is due. In no way are we looking to take ownership of your creative name and things like that without your permission. So after speaking with Kiwi, she said, oh, yes, that is fine. She was honored to do it. And so we invited her on the panel tonight. And unfortunately, we can't hear her voice. So we will hear Shalonda's voice in lieu of Kiwi's voice, yet it would be her words. And we're going to give everyone here an opportunity tonight, because this is Kiwi's business as well. She does this. This is a for-profit thing that she does. And like I have this, she drew this and she brought it to me for our Dream Team Mastermind here in Atlanta. It's just a notepad, basically, like, just white paper. And then she had a couple of other little pieces, but this is the logo for it. So she does this and she's very creative. Thank you, Alexis. Here's the little keychain that she did. And so I want to give everyone an opportunity to hear Kiwi's words, Shalonda's voice, so that you can also connect with her and, get your hands on some girls just want to have funds, whatever it is, material, I should say, or products. And the way that we're going to do that is via Kiwi's Facebook page. So we'll give you that information in just a bit. But Kiwi, again, thank you so much for allowing us to do it, not biting my head off today when you gave us the thumbs up.
She did say that actually she created it in 1990 when she found out she could draw. That's when she created the brand of the Girls Just Want to Have Fun.
So this is 13 years old.
No, 23.
Oh, 93.
She said 1990.
Oh my God. It's 23 years old?
23 years.
Yeah. That's when she
It is
first
just
realized
coming to life. That's what happens when you birth a seed. So
and look what has happened. 23 years later, not that this is the only purpose for it, but this is one of the ways that we can help you as you help us as a community of women as well.
She says she has note cards and magnets as well as the keychains and, the booklets that all of us have as well. She has many different styles. Here's one, another one. I don't know if you guys can see it because I can't see you guys. Okay, there you go. Here's another style.
Oh, that's cute. Oh, Powered by Prayer.
Yep.
And then
notepads.
Lorena has Sassy, Classy, and Badass.
Show that again, Lorena. Let me see that one. Say something so it'll pop up on the screen.
Oh, sassy, classy, and badassy. Can you hear it? Can you see it?
Kiwi, I think you should go ahead and start working on those shirts for us.
Okay. Get a mock-up done, and I promise you somebody on this leadership council or somewhere, Evan maybe. Evan might be in the stores.
You said you already know. You already know.
Because I personally, I don't know about the rest of the women, but I personally would love to have a Girls Just Want to Have Fun shirt for Chicago.
Yeah, I think that should be our women's theme for DT, and I can just see the green money floating in diamonds on the shirt. So, I see the little Ryan. Y'all know we love the little bling bling zones, and then it can have DT Empowered Women or something with the Girls Just Want to Have Funds on the front. That's gonna be the hottest thing going.
Oh my goodness!
Gonna be a lot of.
This is why we can't get women on a Google Hangout because all we start talking about is clothes.
Fashion, spending money.
Look, Kiwi said she would love to. She said, heck yeah, Mama Bear.
Let's get it going. And you know what? I know real quick because tonight is Natalie's daughter's birthday.
That's right. Happy birthday, Natalie, for your daughter. How old is your daughter?
5.
She is 6 years
Six.
old.
Lexi's 6.
Oh.
So she wanted to share with us really quick before she darts out and takes her out on a birthday girls night out with mommy and daddy. So we can go ahead and give her a chance to share before she has to go on a mommy's duty.
Thank you. Well, what am I supposed to be sharing? Just how much I love Empower Network, or how I've made what I made? I mean, I don't know. I got so much stuff to talk about.
Well, I guess, I mean, one of the things that's happening right now is, you have a daughter, she's turning 6, and you're getting ready to, celebrate her birthday. How is it for you as a woman, as a mother, as a business owner, as a wife, all those different things? How do you stay so beautiful? How do you stay so fit? How do you stay sane, or at least the appearance of such, right? I mean, we all go
right?
through, but how do you keep all that?
We all going through something. You know what, Tracy? That's a good question. And let me just first start by saying, like, I by no means have it all together. I do the best I can, but I like sharing what has kind of gotten me this far. And the truth be told is that I know that there's somebody out there looking for me or my story, or they're looking to relate to me. So when all the stuff is crazy and I'm going insane because I have all these different roles, I just think that there's somebody out there that I can inspire by what I'm doing. And if I kind of get through that phase, that I can show them how to do the same thing. So that in itself just keeps me moving, because there's so many women online that I've never met before, never spoken to in person, but they just follow me online. And it's an amazing feeling to be able to kind of give people inspiration to kind of have it all. I mean, you can be a mom, you can have a business, you can do all of that without sacrificing the things that are important to you. And I just think it's important for people to know that you can do it all.
I'm sorry, I was over here getting licked at, a tongue licked out at me, and I had to lick one back by the time you said it. No, I mean, and I think that's awesome, Natalie, because the truth is, there's something that my dad taught me a long time ago, and it's pretty much this concept that, if you ever look at a duck on the lake or on the water, the duck is just kind of gliding, right? I mean, it looks so graceful and so peaceful, and you don't ever see it really, in any uproar. But what we don't see is that if you were to look under the water, he's paddling like hell. Right.
Right.
And so, if there's always some momentum, there's always something that's going on, but it's our job really to be truthful and honest about what we're doing. But, people don't want to do things that if we look all disheveled and we look like we're just exhausted and it's just the worst thing on the planet to do, but to have the grace and the ability to make it seem easy, right? And so many multimillionaires do. They make it look so easy that we don't really realize the work that goes into it. So thank you for making it look easy.
Thank you. Thank you. I wanted to share something really quick, Tracy, and it's something that a lot of people don't know. But there was a point in time where I had some personal things that happened. This was around 2010. And in my business, people wouldn't have known that there was anything going on with me, but I was depressed to the point where I was making like $600 in my social media business, like per month. Like I would literally, that's all I was making, because I was in a place where I had just gotten out of doing a network marketing company, and my income, my residual had slid so low that I hardly was getting anything from there. So, I kind of, tell people about it here and there when I actually speak to them in person. Not something that I've talked about a lot online, but I'm grateful for the opportunity to be in a company like this and to be able to make the income and help other people do it. It's amazing, because I know there's folks out there who they're not telling you their story right now. They're not telling you what they're going through, but they're going through something, and they need this, and they need, they need to be able to make an income and still keep it all together so they can tell their story later on.
Absolutely. I mean, that's exactly what David Sharp talked about when he came down to the mastermind. He said, look, our job is to not talk about what we're going through while we're going through it. Our job is to get through it and then inspire others by talking about it. And so you revealing after you've come through what you've gone through, that's what happened for you. You're absolutely right. There is someone that needs to hear your story, and there's someone that may be experiencing very similar circumstances to you or to your past, and you never know, you may have helped a shackle just hit the ground just by sharing that little bit. So that's awesome.
And I want to ask real quick, Natalie, before you run. You just woke up recently to your first $3,000 day. How does that feel?
Woo! Actually, and I think literally a few hours before that, I had another $500 and another $100, another $25. So it was a little bit more than that. But I have never, like, I have to work a month to get that money from a client. Oh, and here's the birthday girl.
The birthday girl.
Happy birthday.
Say hi, everyone.
Birthday.
Ooh, she's putting on makeup. Daddy gonna get upset. Go sit down. So, but yeah, I woke up to a $3,000 day, and let me tell you, my goal, my husband doesn't know my goal, but my goal is to work enough so I can so that he can slow down a little bit with what he's doing. He's in mortgage, and in order to make $3,000 on a loan, he has to close a hell of a lot of business, you know, and for me to get 100% of that, and like, it's insane. I just don't know where you can get that kind of where you can make that. And then Apple Daniels had a $6,000 day few weeks and last week. I mean, it's insane. It's insane. We are some powerful women here, you guys.
Yes.
Girls just want to have funds, don't they? We just want to have
Funds, yes.
Well, Natalie, thank you so much. I know you have to run, so if you can stick around for a little bit, feel free.
I
if
sure
you
will.
jump off now, we definitely understand. We want you to have fun and have enough
you.
time with your family because they deserve it.
Well, I appreciate you guys for letting me jump on and pop in and out.
All right, and just so you guys know, Kiwi, before we get back to you, look what you inspire. Alexis went in the room and she drew this. Wait, she's brushing her teeth, right? Look. So she drew that. She took your drawing and she goes, I can draw that. And then she went in the room and came back with that. And she's always singing the Dream Team song. She was singing it yesterday at PF Chang's. So the influence we have on the mind of babes, I tell you.
My box.
All right, so Kiwi is saying, go Natalie, get it mama. Woohoo apples. Great job, Alexis, and that she loves it. Okay. She said, tell her I said thank you. All right, so Kiwi, as we kind of recycle back into the whole point, you know, really taking this brand, I should say, is really what it is, and expanding it. You know, there's so many different things that you can do with it, and I believe that with this community and us working together, helping one another, that maybe we can help you make a lot of money with your brand. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, there are tons of people that have all types of things to market and sell. I'm sure each one of us could come up with something, and there's not an opportunity for all of us on the whole dream team to come out. This isn't really a pitch. This is really an initiative. You know, this isn't just about selling something that Kiwi made just because she made it and she's on our team. It's because it has such a strong message, and we believe that it is so in alignment with our vision and what we want to do as women that we just didn't see any other way than to help support you on it. So Kiwi, where is it that you want people to go or connect with you so that they can get more information about how to get Girls Just Want to Have Fun's paraphernalia or whatever it is that they want to get from you, whether it's that brand or anything else at this point? We love you too, Natalie. Okay, I'm assuming Kiwi is typing. Are you typing, Kiwi? Oh, she said, okay, her Facebook page at Kiwianne McDowell. So that's Kiwianne, Kiwianne. McDowell is McDowell. Right? So that's your Facebook is facebook.com/Kiwianne McDowell. Okay, perfect. So guys, go connect with Kiwi. She said to inbox her. So I would assume it's more difficult if you post on her wall because, there's all types of things happening on her wall by the minute. So please do her a favor so that she can reach back out to you, inbox her. And then once you do that, look for the video that I believe she's going to send you of the products. Okay, so Kiwi, thank you again so much, lovely. Thank you for letting us hold down your brand, and I promise we'll do good with it. We'll make you proud of us.
And real quick, Kiwi, I just wanted to suggest, try to hurry up and see if you can go trademark that or something, or copyright it or something. Put your name on that, girlfriend. I don't know if somebody already has.
Good night.
Bye. Bye.
Carson
Hi,
said
Carson.
bye.
Go get in the bed. Get in the bed.
She said
Oh, I'm
it's
sorry, I
already
wasn't muted.
Did you copyright it, Kiwi? Is your copyright?
She said it is. Oh, okay. She's yeah.
Oh, good. Go, girl. That's going to make you a whole heck of a lot of money. Trust me.
Carson likes that idea.
Yeah, Carson liked this grape juice. But see if you can get a trademark, too. I don't know if you need to do both, but that was just my input. I'm going to mute out.
All right, so Kiwi, maybe get with Evan or get with whoever you want. I'm not, saying you have to get with Evan, but I know Evan has the connection with the T-shirts clearly because of what he did with the FTBS Get Money. And maybe we can get some stuff rocking and rolling for the ladies. And before Chicago, we'll add another file on the group, right, for girls just want to have fun's T-shirts, right, your size and whatever colors are available. And I'm telling you, on one of those days, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, all the women of Dream Team and AIG can get together and just rock those shirts. So she said, keep it in the DT family. Absolutely. Woohoo, she says, everybody. All right, Miss Kiwi, well, thank you. And you're more than welcome to stick around and hang out with us as we continue on through the evening. But now I kind of want to transition into just overall why this is so exciting for me. I couldn't wait to be a part of this hangout tonight, and I want to encourage all the panelists to jump in anytime you want. And this is not a formal situation at all, but we just kind of want to talk about different things and different issues and concerns that women face in business. And I guess I'll start off with a main concern. One of the concerns I hear the most from women, I mean from people all over as well, or men and women, but primarily women, because we're usually in charge of like what's going on in the home world, as well as if we're running a business, the business world, and we're running relationships and things like that. Time management. Right, I kind of asked Natalie about that, and I have my way of doing things and getting things done. And for me, my life has changed a little bit now because now I'm in another relationship, a totally different relationship where now there's kids in my house, right? And so dealing with a 10-year-old, and then there's a 16-year-old, then there's a 14-year-old. There's so many different ranges of things that I'm faced with and dealing with, and I skipped right now since I don't have any biological children yet. One day, very soon, I hope. I skipped all the baby stuff, right? Boom, I get right to 9 years old, right? So that was pretty easy. But, we deal with attitude, tears, all these different things. When I'm on these hangouts and stuff, she's writing me notes constantly. She has to be in the bed at 9:30, 9:40, so she writes me notes. She's in my door right now. Go get in the bed before you get it. And she's like, hey, can you talk to my dad about coming to Chicago? Like, she she wants to be in Chicago so bad because her brother and sister, the 16 and 14-year-old, they're going to be there, and she wants to go. And so managing the time and, you know, playing the game and making sure that she's reading while I'm doing this work and all that stuff, paying attention to my man and all of that, you know, I've had to create a certain little formula to get it done. So ladies, how do you handle your time management and in your life and your background and your families? How do you make it all work?
We don't. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, go ahead, Natalie. Go ahead, because I think it's half of us have little ones and some of us have grown ones.
Oh, no, I was just joking when she said, how do you handle it? I said, we don't.
I know, we're all over the place, right?
No, we try our best. I'll let somebody else answer that. I'm curious because I already kind of went and talked to you.
No, but share, Natalie. I'd love to hear from you because you have a lot going on in your world that, and like I think, you know, Tracy said, you make it look so easy. What do you do and how do you do it? Because it's West Coast time for you. What time is it in the West Coast time? This is, what, 6 o'clock? 7?
It is 6, about to be 7 o'clock.
Yeah, 7.
You know what? I had to start making time for myself because I used to work. You know, it's easy when you work for yourself to work 15 hours a day or 14 hours a day, and I'm sure you guys that are watching this, you can feel that because you're passionate about what you do. You feel like your work is never done. But my husband had to tell me, you know what, you will burn yourself out a lot quicker doing that than if you take your break, you take time to read for 20 minutes. And I used to tell him, oh, you're crazy. I can't do that, you know, and he had to sit me down and say, follow my lead for a week. Do what I say. And if it doesn't work, you can go back to doing what you're doing. But if it works, you keep it. And lo and behold, I hate to admit it, but it worked. I was more energetic. I didn't want to listen to him, but I had to take my lunch breaks. I have to take my time to eat my snack. I have to, you know, take time to, you know, take a breather for myself. And I don't do it all the time, but when I do, I realize that I am much more energized. And then here's another one that a lot of us, yes, baby. A lot of us have a problem. Women, we have a hard time saying no. And I had to learn to start saying no to people. And let me tell you, that has lifted a burden off of my shoulder. And yes, baby girl. And it's made me realize that I can still help people, but on my terms. And I think we all have to figure out what our rules of engagement are, what we are going to do and what we're not going to do. And that's okay because we can create that for ourselves. And somehow people have told us that we have to do it a certain way. It's not true. We can do things the way we want, you know. So that's how I handle it. Is I make time for myself, and everything has its little place, just like Tracy said, family time, and that sort of thing, so that you can try to keep it together as much as possible.
Natalie, quick question. What was it that your husband suggested that you do that made the difference?
Well, I wasn't taking little breaks during the day. I would just sit at the computer or be on the phone or be at meetings back and forth. And he told me that I needed to take an hour or so a day for myself, whether that was to go work out or to do something for myself that was not related to anybody else, that wasn't tied to anybody else in any way, shape, or form, that was just for me. And he told me not to feel guilty about it. And that's our problem, is we feel like everybody needs us, we can't take a break, right? But that's not good for us. It's just not good for you. You have to do what's right for you. And you can still be productive, but, you know, everything has its place and time. And luckily, my daughter doesn't mind working with me sometimes, right?
I think that's awesome. Great, great, great sound advice.
Yeah.
All of our other moms. Oh, go ahead, Tracy.
Kiwi said, that's right, Natalie. Got to take care of ourselves first. And TW says, put the mask on yourself first. TW equals Tracy.
Right. That's right. That's Tracy.
Yeah.
Which one?
Go ahead,
That
Nick.
one?
I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just going around the room. Carson says, "Hey, yeah. Who else has little ones? Shalonda. Shalonda has 2. How do you do it, Shalonda?
I have a 5 and a 12. I have a very strict schedule because I have to be focused. You know, I always say I got diagnosed with ADHD when I was a junior in college, but I never really claimed it. And so now I refuse to claim it. So I like get up at around 4:30 in the morning and I have like a strict schedule. So I start working for a few hours and I get the first baby up, get her cook her breakfast, get her fed, get her out the door. The second one, the 12-year-old, they can handle it on their own. So Tracy, I feel you when you say, you know, you start at 9, praise him, because that's a good time when they can feed themselves. You know what I'm saying? they can pick out their own clothes.
That hair and those little things like that.
Right. Yeah. So I do all that, and then I work until 3. At 3 o'clock, my first child comes home, and that's when there's no more work until like now. And so at 3 o'clock she comes home. We do our hour and a half of study time, and then it's activities, because you know the kids have like crazy schedules. So you got dance, you got soccer, you got Chi Kwon Do. Well, at least that's what we have in this house. So then it's getting in the car, everybody getting on their outfits for whatever activity we're doing, getting in the car and heading out. I usually try to cook dinner before like about 3 to 4, because I'm a single mom. So, you know, I got to get all this stuff in. So I try to cook dinner between like 4 and 5. So it's ready. So all I got to do is warm it up when we get home from all the activities. And then they get to bed. And then we do it again and again and again. It's really, like, I'm kind of with Natalie. It's the self-development stuff, the reading, the workout, the physical workout, like working out, the reading, and the audios, listening to those throughout the day help make the day kind of not seem so long and more enjoyable, if that makes sense.
No, yeah, it makes sense. I mean, essentially, you have a schedule, and with your schedule, you're following it. And after you follow it, what happens is that everyone gets into a pattern. You create a habit with your pattern, essentially, and then everybody's able to do it with, you know, unconscious competence, essentially. And so, you know, you keep your train moving over there, but you had to start with a pattern. I think that's kind of ironic that that's really what we're saying in business too, right? You got to have a pattern of doing things so that you can build it up into a habit where then you can unconsciously do stuff, and before you know it, you're done with your work for the day because you're in a zone, right? You're in a trance, essentially, and things just happen.
Yes.
Now, let's see, Lorena, now, and Nikki, both of you guys have teenagers. But I think, Nikki, you have some younger ones, too. But let's start with Lorena, then we'll come over to Nikki. You know, you have a daughter that's about to have her daughter, right? And so, and then you have had some different experiences with your daughter as well that you've shared, just some challenging things as she's going through her teenage years, moving into, you know, her 20s and stuff. So how's that like for you? As things occur with your daughter, how do you handle the business? Has it been affected in any way? And I don't want to just launch a bunch of questions, but you kind of get where I'm going.
Yeah. Well, there has been a lot of challenges with my daughter, but it's kind of one of those things where I made a decision that I wasn't going to get a job because, you know, I left that job to spend more time with my daughter. So as things started, you know, rising, and they were difficult things, but I had to go back to why I got into this industry in the beginning. And I made a decision not to go back to work because I knew if I went back to work, that was going to be less time spending with her. So it basically, you know, was what kept me going was I made a decision, and then being connected to a support system, which helped to keep me strong spiritually and, you know, in my mind, helped me to grow. Because without that, I wouldn't have been able to realize a lot of the things that were holding me back. I probably would have given up, you know, and said, forget it, you know, I'll go this route, you know, of less resistance. You know, because at first glance, it can seem easier, you know, having job offers to get back into the workforce. That's just pretty much handed to you, where you can have the lifestyle back that you were accustomed to originally. But then, you know, being that since I've been connected with Empower Network, I've been reading more and I'm feeding the inside more, and I've been able to realize what's more important at the end of the day, and then I could recognize my growth. And it's just a beautiful thing to grow, you know, financially and on the inside, because I realize, you know, I've been studying successful people in this industry, which I call an underground mogul industry. This is like the best kept secret, man. It really is. The internet marketing industry is the best kept secret. But just knowing, you know, when I compare all of the successful people that I know, that's right, mogul. You know, when I compare all of the successful people I know, you know, from this industry, and then I compare them with mainstream, you know, it's all the same. You know, they understand some basic principles, and it starts up here. And the more I recognize that on both sides, it's like, keep going, you're on it, you're on it, you're on it. So that's kept me going, and my income's increasing. My relationships are getting better with my daughter, with my family, although it's still, you know, we're still a work in progress. But, you know, I just recognize my blessings more and more being connected with this community. So, and I appreciate it.
So real quick, Lorena, let me ask you, what does your day look like? Like when you get up in the morning and knowing the things that you have to do, the things that you want to do in terms of your business, your life, whatever, what does that look? What's an average day for you? What time do you get up? What do you do? And then, you know, how do you close it down for the night?
Well, it kind of flip-flops, because sometimes I'm in Charlotte, and then sometimes I'm in South Carolina with my partner, Nikki Pink Goddess. So, so when I'm here, right now I'm in Charlotte, but when I'm in Charlotte, I get up pretty early. I was telling Nikki, I just started getting up at like 5:30 in the morning, do my meditations. I do my meditation, I read, I also write, or try to get some of my social media stuff, or spin some articles. So I do that the first half of my day. Then I try to connect more on Facebook, because I feel like sometimes I'm off the map there because I'm kind of in other things. So now I'll spend like 45 minutes or so connecting with people. And then I'll spend some time with my mom, because she is like a TV freak. So I'll spend some time with her watching her favorite little Solve 'em show. And then I'll get to the midday motivational call. Then I'll log off for a little bit, get off the map. And then I'll do some training throughout the day. Then I'll talk to my daughter. Then I'll eat. It's kind of like family, a little work, off the map, a little bit of work. And then I'll kind of peek in and see what other people are doing to kind of get some other strategies. But pretty much during my day, you know, because I don't have little kids anymore, I'm just more so trying to connect more with my daughter, that I felt like, you know, I missed a lot of those initial years. I do a little bit of work, my heavy duty things that need a lot of concentration early. And then I kind of spend a little family time, and then I go back to some studying. So that's how my day is, pretty much. Okay,
that's reasonable enough. Nikki, what's it like for you in your household? How do you manage your time?
Well, you know, when the kids are, I'll say my 6-year-old is very demanding. And here lately he's been at his dad's house a lot. But like tonight, you know, it was my night to get him, and he just wanted to do all these things. And I'm like, baby, mommy has to work tonight. And he's like, why you always got to work on my night? And, you know, but it is really, you know, challenging with him, because he does require a lot of time. And, you know, some children, you know, when and Lorena's laughing because she knows how demanding he is. And so, you know, when you're trying to get something done, he doesn't really understand. No. So when he's here, I have to get everything done before he comes home, because from the time that I pick him up from school until he gets into bed, we're working on getting his bedtime moved up till 8:30 instead of 9:15. And that's been, you know, a challenge. But and then my daughter, she's 14, about to be 15, and you know, we enjoy our conversations every day. So I'm working on getting my schedule to where, you know, in the evening time, I pick back up around 9 to about midnight, because I usually, I used to stay up till like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning and get up at 7 a.m. And I was like working on very few hours of sleep. But since I started working out, I'm 35, I'm getting older. I have to get more fit. So I've started dedicating an hour to an hour and a half a day, going to the gym, working on me. And I really related to Natalie when she was saying, you got to get you some me time, because I'm telling you guys, since I implemented that, and it's only been about a week, I noticed a major change in just my attitude and how I feel. And it's just, it's really different. So I'm very inspired to go to the gym every day. I try to beat my calories when I'm walking on the treadmill every single day. So, I would have never thought that I would be at this place to where, exercise is interesting and exciting and fun. But guys, I'm telling you, just being a part of the dream team, like the energy that everyone has, like, is just so infectious. And it's so exciting. My conversations with my children is different, and they see it. And it's because I'm growing. So, I finally realized, why my growth has been stunted is because I wasn't putting enough stuff in my brain. And so now that I started listening to audios every day, now that I started reading more than I try to read an hour a day. I've been consistent with 30 minutes, and I know, in 8 Core Steps is only 15, but 30 minutes, but I want to push that up to an hour because I need to grow more. I feel like, I want to order all these books. I want to read all this stuff. So, I'm just excited, guys. And my schedule is just working, and my kids, stay excited for me. And my daughter really wants to come to Chicago. So we're going to get her to Chicago, and she is only 14. So I'm very excited about that. And my son, he's already working, getting some people and doing some stuff, my 18-year-old. So guys, I'm just blessed, and I'm excited, and I love you guys. That's all I can say.
Well, Nikki, I tell you what, we'll have a 14-year-old there too. That's a girl. So we can pair those two up. Well, at least we know two ladies that can connect and probably hang out and, do stuff other than sit in our conference. Although we think it's exciting, they won't find it to be that thrilling the entire time.
But I do want to say this real quick. My 18-year-old and Lorena, we dragged them to the last event. And yes, they were kicking and screaming. And yes, it wasn't a beautiful sight while we were there. But my son, I went and picked him up from college, guys, on, what's today? I'm sorry, what's today? Thursday? No, Wednesday. It's Wednesday, right? I picked him up on Monday for spring break. And I just tell you guys, he said, Mom, I'm so glad that you and Miss Lorena pulled me kicking and screaming to that event, because it really has changed my life. And I cannot tell you guys, I think that of all of our conversations was the single most thing that has really touched me, to hear my 18-year-old get it. And he has the power of now. We've been discussing it. And it's just really blowing my mind. So, this company, it's just empowering for so many people. And I could just go on and on, so I'm going to get off the soapbox for a minute, but I'm just excited, and I love you guys, man. I really do.
Well, if there were any question about whether or not you were excited, Nikki, someone would literally have to be out of touch with the reality here, right? So, no, we definitely appreciate that. Now, we lost Felicia for a second, so she'll be back. Keisha, I'm not sure. Do you have kids?
I have no kids, no husband, no nothing. And I'm sitting up here, and I'm like, I don't know how y'all do it. Give it up. We got to give it up for the moms out there, for the wives, because, I don't know. As it is right now, I get up at 8:30 because I have a accountability call. I go on a 9 o'clock call, and then I meditate, pray, all that good stuff for about an hour and go back to sleep and then wake back up. So I don't know how y'all do it. I actually was a little late because I had a date tonight. It was real good.
Oh my goodness. Well, that's an issue. That's a concern for single women, right?
It
Managing your time with dating and meeting other people and, getting away from the computer. How'd that go?
Well, it went very well, and he's not watching, but, I basically, we had dated before, and I was like, we need to make some decisions because I ain't getting no younger. So, and he made that, I made him come up, I didn't take care of myself. So, we made a decision, and we're going to, kind of move forward and do this. And it's interesting because he's a wonderful guy, meets all of my criteria. And I was thinking about that as I was leaving. I was like, oh, wait a second. He can't interrupt my 8:30 call. He can't interrupt my 9 o'clock call. He cannot interrupt my schedule. How is this going to work? But I have to make time for him because I'm usually up till like maybe 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. So I was like, all right, I got to cut that back. And I do have to get on a schedule, a little bit better, more of a, defined schedule so that I can have, that time for him as well, because I don't want to neglect him, through this whole thing. So, yeah, that is a concern. And, I think, somebody said it earlier about really just putting a schedule together and making time for the people, obviously, that you want to make time for. And I think that's how I'm going to just kind of handle this. It's going to be a work in progress, but I'm excited about it.
Absolutely, as you should be. When I first started with Empower, I was actually getting ready to go, starting a divorce process. So Empower was starting. I'm going through this whole thing or whatever, and then we get through 2012. And now we're at the end of 2012. We decided to take another step in our relationship with my new guy, and I will tell you that throughout a lot of the 2012 year, the end of 2011 and all of 2012, I was dating, and at that time we stayed 40 minutes apart, and so it would take well, you guys came to my house. that were here. Okay. So I'm like 45. When he lived out this way, he had a different house before, and so 40 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour each way, and you're trying to manage these calls and these webinars, but at the same time you're trying to have a life, when it's all said and done. And I'll share this little story real quick. When we first started talking, I can't say dating yet, but we first started talking, he would call and he's told this story to some people before, but he would call evening time, like 8, 9 o'clock at night, and I would never answer because we had stuff to do, right, at 8 or 9 o'clock. And when I would call him the next day, we would literally bicker because his perception of that was, I must live with somebody, I'm dating somebody else, and I never answer the phone at night, and I only call him the next day. So his thing is, this is bull. You've got something else going on. And I swore that I didn't. And, there was no way. He wouldn't come over, at the beginning. He's like, no, because you're lying, And it was that commitment to it. I'm like, well, listen, either you believe me or you don't, at the end of the day. And now, of course he loosened up over time, but now he can clearly see that this is the exact same routine that I had, a year ago, a year and a half ago. And what he's done now is he doesn't even really play the game, but we recently got an Xbox for Alexis, and now he's sitting down there now playing Ghost Recon or whatever the heck that is. So that's his little thing while I'm doing these webinars now to entertain himself because, hey, I didn't have another man. I had a business and, people that I felt obligated to work with and love to be with. So Keisha, hang in there, girl. He'll figure it out. Now, Miss Felicia, you are totally, well, no, you're not totally single because you have a boyfriend as well. What? Huh? Whoa, wait. Okay, unmute yourself, Felicia, because this is new news. Sorry.
I'm laughing at how quick I did it. But no, we're not together anymore. It's been about almost a month now that we haven't been together.
Okay, well, we'll leave that alone. So what is your schedule and your day like now that you no longer have any type of, requirements to meet with a boyfriend and dating and traveling? What's your day like?
Life is just great, and I'm not saying that because he made me miserable or anything, but life has been great, I'm very happy, and I don't have any kids, not married, I'm single, and I pretty much just get up and go anytime I get ready. And I don't really have a set schedule. People ask me, what time do you have to work? And I tell them I don't know. Whenever I feel like working, pretty much, because with this business right here, it's so great because they have things set in place for people that are lazy like me. You can set up things so that it can be on autopilot. And that's how I do. I run a lot of solo ads, and you know, I shoot my videos. I do things that I like to do, and it doesn't feel like a job to me. So so that's how I manage it. I mean, like I said, I don't work every single day. However, I am blogging every day. You know, I'm following the 8 core commitments, but I'm not just sitting down working for like hours and hours. Like most of the time I work 2 hours or less. But sometimes people will see me on Facebook or things like that because I may post something, or you know, be doing something late at night, because I stay up late sometimes, just because I like to stay up late and sleep late and get up late. So that's pretty much how I do it.
Well, that's simple enough, Felicia. You know, everybody who knows me, what's the girl on Atlanta Housewives, Phaedra? She goes, well, everybody knows, right? So everybody knows that I am like a late sleeper, right? I don't like to get up super early in the morning, but you know, things have changed so much in my world that now I literally am up at 6:30 in the morning, and at 7 I kind of start, you know, whereas things would start for me usually around 11. Now I'm starting my meditation at 7 in the morning, right? 7:15 in the morning, and I'm usually done with all of my IPAs, my income producing activities, by 11:30, 11:45. So when the midday call comes, that's really my wind down. Prayerfully, I hope that, you know, I try to keep it that way, and then anything that I have to do after that, it's not necessarily an IPA, but let's say somebody wants to do a hangout, or somebody wants to do an interview or a chit chat or whatever, I usually do that after 1 o'clock, and anything after 3 pretty much has to be put on hold for a little bit, because Alexis gets off the school bus at 2:50. She's coming in the door, and like Shalonda, you know, it's homework time, it's, you know, reading, you know, I have to make sure she reads for 20 minutes, all this stuff. And, you know, by that time, Kilo's getting home, and so cooking dinner, well, he's cooking it. Y'all know I'm not cooking no dinner, but he's cooking it. And, you know, I mean, he likes to do that, right? I'm not forcing him to do it. He likes to do that, and spending some family time. And then, you know, I sneak back in here for a few hours. And so that's kind of my day on a consistent basis. But I try to get everything done by 11:30 a.m. Otherwise, there's just no focus that's going to happen, because it's too much that's going on in the house. Nicole, what's it like for you?
I think you guys have gotten a pretty clear depiction in the past 20, 30 minutes. Kids hanging off my head. You know what? For me, it's like Shalonda. It comes over time. I'm still getting mine together, because I still am gambling the fact that I'm 35 years old with 2 babies. It is a lot rougher when you have older children at 35 than when you got people that wake up in the middle of the night and getting in your bed. So for me, guys, I'm probably the worst example right now, because I don't do a lot of sleeping. I nap a lot. Because for me, my productivity time, I'm like Shalonda, I'm up at 4 in the morning. Like this morning, I was up at 4. That's my peace and Tracy, like, it ain't no way. I mean, but that's what works for me. I've learned, for some reason, I kept getting up at 4 in the morning. And I realized for me it's because the world is quiet. And so my ability to focus, I think everybody, what is key for us to discover, because I read a book about burnout. This is a couple years when I got really burnt out. And in that book, he says that all of us have key productivity time, and it's usually probably a good 2 hours where you'll be your best person. And he said you have to identify that time and put your most critical activities in that time, and realize that everything else after that, you're really just lollygagging. And so I've discovered that 4 a.m. is my critical time. During the day, if I don't get up at 4 in the morning, my goal is my income producing activities first. That is the first thing that I do. I mean, I'll pray, I'll read my Bible, I'll get a moment like around the house to just kind of sit for a second, 10 to 15 minutes, just to kind of think through my day and get some me time. But when I sit down at my computer, sorry y'all, it's a lot going on this evening. But when I sit down at my computer, my goal is don't turn on any Facebook, don't check email, sit right down and get the most critical things that are done. And for me, the most critical thing is connecting with my list and identifying that key marketing strategy that I need to get out for that day and get it out. Whether I'm writing a blog post, whether I'm shooting a video and releasing that video, it's identifying what's going to build my list today, what's going to get me new leads today, and what's going to get me signups. And so what I've had to do is I'm still learning how to construct my day. I'm at a point now, because I have little ones, I'm reinvesting in my business to hire help to get other people to run my business for me and do certain things for me. So a lot of my time lately has been sitting down with new staff or current staff and delegating. A lot of my time is delegating. This is how I want this project done. This is what I want you to do. This is how I want you to do it. And then the evening, usually from about, I get the kids off to school, and usually from about 9 o'clock in the morning until about noon is my productivity time, me really being able to create content if I'm going to write content, shoot a video or whatever, or do my audio files for my content. It's between 9 and 12. After 12 is like checking email, checking Facebook, chatting, and things like that. And then it's also phone calls. I'm starting to get connected with my masters people, my 15K people, and so I have them schedule any calls closer towards the afternoon. It's a lot of noise. Can y'all keep it down a little bit, babe? But yeah, that's pretty much my day. By the time the kids are ready to get out of school, about 3 o'clock, I'm running around in gymnastics, running errands, cooking dinner, and doing all that stuff. So I have about a window of 9 to 3 to get everything done. That's including adding the midday calls. That's adding other activities in there, but that's basically pretty much how my schedule is.
Well, I mean, I think that what we're all at least agreeing on is that there is a schedule, right? There is a schedule. Now, whether it's a tight-knit schedule or whether it's a loose schedule, whether we can interchange things in depending on our responsibilities and, you know, requirements that we have at home, there has to be a schedule. I'll show you guys two things that I have. One, of course, is my phone, right? Now, I don't know if you'll be able to see this. The light is kind of bright. Let me see if I can kind of angle it some kind of way. If I can't, then I can't. All right, maybe you can see it a little bit, right? So you'll see, can you guys see that? All right, so you'll see it's 7, it's meditation, and then you'll see I have productivity hour 1, right? And then from there I do a mental exercise, which is pretty much like envisioning and things like that, you know, seeing my future and creating real life in my head. Then it goes to productivity hour 2. Right? And then after that, it's the midday call, whoever that is doing that. Today was a hair appointment, but as you can see, it's the same thing. It just repeats over and over and over, right? I mean, I've had this on here for whatever, right? DTLC meeting on that day. And, you know, I even have it on Saturdays and Sundays, and I'm flexible on Saturdays and Sundays with it. But for the most part, you know, every single day, it's this exact same thing that I'm doing, right? And then I have my alarm go off as if these are events, right? So you see here, I have a break. So on some days I might do a break. I might not do a mental exercise, but it's still productivity hour 1 and then productivity hour 2, all right? So it's scheduled in my day. And then what I do here is I have this, and I bought this for 2012. It's an at a glance for 2013. And this is kind of what it looks like. I just get it from like Office Max. It's called Plan, Write, Remember. And it has like a little, this little black thing here, like a little elastic bookmark thing. But just to show you a day, I just kind of scrolled through. But when I was going through Office Max and looking for something, what I liked about this one was that right down here, it had this gray section, and you see it says hot. Right, these are hot items, and I can put 3 things in there, right? And so I use this to say, okay, what are my IPAs, right? I have 3 basic IPAs for that day or whatever that is, and those things go in the gray area, right? So on this day, what was this, February the 19th, it was blog post, it was email number 1, and it was email number 2. Right, those are my income-producing activities, staying in contact with my list, and then doing a blog post. Then on the 20th, I didn't write a blog post, but it was still email number 1 and email number 2. Then what happens up here is I put down other things that need to take place, but that aren't IPAs, right? I mean, I've talked about this kind of before, like in the in a inner circle call or in a Monday night call or whatever it was. So, you know, like for example, this says get the date for the solo ad, right? That's not an IPA, yet it still needs to get done. And you know, I just highly recommend that you have some type of tool where, you know, I have an electronic tool, which helps me while I'm out, if I'm out, but then I have a written tool as well, because I can kind of scroll through and I can take notes and keep notes and things of that sort. And, you know, now all the way up to, the 13th, we're waiting for the 13th, and I didn't have really that much today. I only did one email today, and that's one I wrote about my dad, and then I'm just kind of keeping some notes here on what we're talking about. But those are my two like management tools that I use. And of course, with, you know, if you have an Apple product, an iPhone or whatever, if I have my iPad, iCloud brings it over. So my iPad is buzzing at the same time that my iPhone is buzzing or whatever it is. And it keeps me on track, right, essentially. And if you can just remind yourself to remind yourself, essentially was what this is, then whatever you set your schedule to be, you should be able to follow through with it. So, I mean, I think that was kind of interesting to talk about the time management. And, I mean, look how long it took us to talk about that. I mean, a whole hour, essentially, talk about time management. But I think it was well needed. And thank goodness we're going to be doing this over time. There's just no way we could talk about all these issues, you know, in one hangout. It's impossible. But another topic that I kind of like to transition into at this point would be our health, right? And everyone, I believe, has said a little something about working out or something like that. And when I thought about that topic for tonight, the first thing I thought about was Shalonda, because she's been sending me this stuff for the squat challenge, right? So all the ladies doing the squat challenge, and I said, you know what? I'm going to do this doggone squat challenge. That's just it. I got to get it together for the summertime. And so I said, you know what? I have to find some time in my day to work out or do some basic, you know, something, movement, because if we sit at this computer all day and snack and eat and drink, you might make a lot of money, but you're going to be, you know, not the most healthiest person doing it. And so we want to keep a balance in that as well. We want to be able to get to our events. We want to look good at our events, right? We want to be able to wear little baby doll t-shirts. That's what we want to wear. Or, you know, the jeans, skinny leg jeans, and our boots and all these different things. That's in style. So, you know, what is it that Kiwi says she's trying to kill us with those squats? She is. Those Bulgarian squats, I thought I was going to kill myself. Like, this is absolutely ridiculous.
I didn't make it up. But, you know, Keisha doing insanity. So, see, I'm living vicariously through her while we do the squats.
Yeah, ain't nobody got time for that, Keisha.
Right, exactly. So, Keisha, you see what I'm saying? What? She got that going on.
Anybody got time for that? That would be one of the benefits to being single with no kids, right? You can go insane. I don't know about being insane right now.
Yeah, it is insane. It's beyond insane. I wouldn't advise anybody to be going insane with Shanti if you ain't ready for it. The sounds that I make, the things that come out of my mouth and my nose are crazy, okay? But it is so important. It is so important. And you know what? It's infectious. I'm getting so many people talking about, oh, I want to join you. Let me do this, and let me go do this. And you know what? I feel so much better. I feel lighter. I feel healthier. I feel stronger. I have so much more energy now. And it's interesting because I used to sit on my bed. That's where I work from. Sit on my bed. I used to wake up like very stiff. And for being 38, you shouldn't be waking up all that stiff. That hurt and all that good stuff. And I don't wake up like that anymore. And I mean, the joy that I have about, you know, a healthy lifestyle, I mean, it's just incredible. And the fact that you get to do this and you get to, there's just so much, you know, from being healthy. I mean, it's infectious. It's just incredible. And I'm just, you know, telling everybody else, I don't want to hear any excuses. You need to do this. And I'm also a Zumba instructor too. So we're gonna do some Zumba in Chicago. Just FYI.
Yeah, we noticed something was going on during the mastermind.
What?
Yeah, that was
yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna set up a Saturday morning class on Zumba if anybody wants to join. So yeah.
But you gonna look good, Keisha, ain't that right?
That's right, girl. What you talking about?
Oh Lord, I hope I don't be hating on you, Keisha. Like, dang, I knew I should have did my insanity.
You know what, Tracy? That's the same thing I was thinking. I was like, man, I'm gonna be honest. I took myself out of the group, the squat group. So I was like, man, ain't nobody got time for that. But it all like they gonna be up in there looking all fine. So man, I gotta get back in this group.
May I submit a request to be added, please?
Yes, I will add you, and we're adding the ab workout. The ab challenge starts tomorrow. Oh, it's getting ready to be on. They can now. We
add me to the squat challenge too, because I'm taking over all.
No, Keisha, triple whammy, huh? You're gonna be doing triple doubles. Go ahead, LeBron.
Get that right, Nick.
I know Tequila's watching, so Tequila's, I'm sure she's adding you guys as we speak.
Kiwi saying she's in too. Add Kiwi in.
Kiwi's already in it.
Oh, okay. Nikki, you say you hope we don't have to do more than 70. Honey, today it was 105, boo. So we already passed 70.
Yes, and that's why I'm so scared, because I haven't even started yet.
You can do it. You can do it.
I tell you, the first couple days I woke up and my, your thighs, just like the regular squats, my thighs were sore. I was like, what in the, and when you're walking, you're like, what is going on? Your leg, and going downstairs or coming upstairs, how your legs kind of shake like that.
Yeah. I thought I was muted.
But that's what was going on. And I said, let me get in this office and sit down somewhere, because I don't need to be walking around the house. I need to just sit down. Let me start typing or doing a video or something that doesn't require pain.
But Tracy, when you said you did 120 regular ones the other day, I had to do it too.
There you go.
You inspired me to do 120, but so yes, I did 120 and I did 200 today. But I was talking about 70 of the Bulgarian ones. I hope we don't have to do more than 70 of those.
No, not more. It wasn't more than 70. Today it was 70.
Yes,
it was 70, and then
30, no more than 70.
No more. Well, it was 30 regular ones, and then 70 Bulgarian ones. So I don't know. Shalonda is the fitness coach, and then you got Keisha that's adding the Zumba, and I don't know if we will. You know what? We might need to ban Keisha, because not ban her from the group, but ban her from any instructor.
I'm gonna have y'all feeling good.
That's really good. I say the squat challenge is the guy who actually created it. He's the trainer for Jill Scott. So if y'all have seen Jill Scott lately, she is fly, and that's his squat challenge. So I don't want y'all. I'm just the messenger. We swipey in this business. So I'm swiping it and I'm sharing it with y'all. I'm just finding content and sharing it, and that's what we get paid to do, guys. That's what we get paid to do. Find content and share it. I'm just doing what I do best. Ain't that right? Just doing what we do best.
Amen to that. Amen to that. So, Felicia, he's going to have to jump on in, Mama. Sorry, Charlie. Sorry, Charlie.
Yeah. Adrian just texted me and said, stop being a wussy about that. So he's right. I told him, you're right. I got to stop being a wussy.
That's right. Step your game up. Step your game up.
Do it.
Well, we think about business, and we think about, having an ideal, well-rounded life, being wealthy, but being stuck in a bed or with dis-ease in our bodies and any of those types of things, that's not fun, right? And this is girls just want to have fun, right? It's not fun to be able to have money that you can't even go anywhere and spend or enjoy or, travel and see things with. So I think it's important, and I had to come to that realization too, because a lot of people assume, you guys can share your input on this, but a lot of people assume because, of my size that I do a lot of working out. And the truth is that I very rarely do any You know what I'm saying? I think that it's a function of working a lot and not eating. Not because I'm trying to lose weight, but because I forget to eat sometimes. It's kind of weird. And you know, if you guys have seen Beyonce's documentary, Nicole had seen it and we were talking about it. And so I made sure I got home when we came back from Austin, and I actually watched her documentary, and she talked about that too, that sometimes she gets in such a zone with working that she forgets to eat. And I've had that plague for quite a few years, you know. And so I don't think it's a healthy thing that I'm doing, you know. And I said, well, I've got to change that. I've got to eat more regularly. I've got to eat healthier. Likewise, I've got to get my blood circulating in my body. You guys know I've been doing a cleanse, so you know I'm getting toxins and stuff out, but I got to put good stuff in, and I want to keep, you know, the cells in my body alive, essentially. And as we continue to make more money, shoot, I want to be able to go wherever the heck Empower say we need to be. I want to go wherever we decide as a women's group, wherever we want to go. If we want to go to the Dominican, then we can just pack up and go, and nobody has to be worried about, oh my God, I'm not getting in no swimming suit and all of this. We gotta go and have fun, you know, and just be comfortable with our bodies and things of that sort. So anybody want to throw in there, like, you know, are you guys exercise? I mean, besides just now, I mean, besides the squat challenge or anything like that, have you guys just been working out normally or not? Or what's your life been in terms of that?
I actually started working out this year with the Jillian Michaels workout. Like, I just had to. I think if any of us with our schedules, if you realize when you go to a job and you kind of go to work and you leave the house, that's one thing. But to work at home with the couches and the beds, I mean, if y'all have a bed in every bedroom, you walk down the hallway and you pass in like I don't know. So I had to start working out so that I could get that extra energy, because then I was like, well, let me just walk the dog. So I started walking the dog. Like, I got to get out the house. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to almost make yourself find a new schedule. You know, it's not, everybody dreams of, ooh, I would love to work at home. I would love to work at home. Then you get home and you be like, the kitchen is there. All the food is there. You ain't taking a lunch. All the food is there. Anything you want to drink, anything you want to eat is there. You know what I'm saying? So you got to make a choice. So that's when I started working out the beginning of this year, when I first started staying home and not physically leaving to go to an office.
Well, I was forced to have to work out. I hate to say that, but I'm glad that I was, because it's given me a different outlook on just so many different things. And like who was saying that it's addictive? Who said that on the Keisha? Did you say that? Working out was addictive? It is. And I go for an hour every day. So you guys, it's just, you got to get healthy, fit. And somebody added wealthy today. So yes, healthy, fit, and wealthy. That is where I will be 2013.
I just wanted to add some stuff, because I think a lot of times people don't see the dark side of working from home. Yeah, we sit around and we're on this computer and all that stuff, but there is an extreme case of the isolation syndrome, where it's just like Tracy is saying. I think Beyonce said she went one time 4 days without eating. We can go sometimes a week without socializing or connecting with other people. And I know for me, I mean, it ain't no secret that I don't like where I live. That'll be all coming to a close very soon. But it's lonely. You can get trapped and buried in your work and get very lonely, and you don't realize it can slip you into extreme isolation. So forcing yourself to have a reason to go somewhere, to go do something, to get connected. I mean, even when we were at the, when I went to Atlanta for the mastermind, I didn't get in town till 1 o'clock. And one of my girlfriends came to pick me up, and we stayed up laughing till 5:30 in the morning. Went to sleep. Donyetta was on her way at 6:30. So I got an hour of sleep before we did our event. But the laughter and the energy to be connected to somebody that you know, I still laugh about those moments because it felt so good to be connected. So I think, you know, even from a mental health standpoint, physical health is very important to get up and exercise your body. Because I don't know about y'all, but I literally now when I sit down, I feel like I'm spreading because I'm sitting for so long. I feel like I could feel my muscles just atrophying and loosening up and spreading and the stretch marks coming in. And I'm like, what the heck is happening? Because you're sitting for hours and hours and hours. And then sometimes we're sitting in the bed and we're snacking. We're just, look what's sitting next to me right now. I can't lie. There's an addiction.
I know, right? My favorite.
Shalonda, your fault.
Yeah.
I can't lie. My Samoas have been accompanying me for quite some time since Girl Scout season came into play. So you're snacking, you're munching, you're typing. You're snacking, you're munching, you're typing, you're spreading. The stretch marks are growing. And next thing you know, you go put on some jeans and be like, my golly gee, I can't fit these no more. What didn't happen to what? And I ain't gonna lie, I used to wear Body Magics. I can't even fit in my Body Magic these days. I need about 2 sizes bigger than what I used to wear.
Nicole, you are too funny.
Hey, yo, it's real. It's real because it happens. And for women, we carry our weight in our hips and things like that, and little muffin top get deforming. But I'm saying all that to say that, when you get in hustle mode on this computer, you have to be very careful to have balance. Even for your body. Like I had a pinched nerve and all this stuff from sitting on my couch. Hold on, Chloe. Okay, go look in the closet and get one, please. So I had to go to a chiropractor. Like there's different things for benefits that this stuff is going to be beneficial for. And I'm just saying all that to say that, yes, getting up and doing something, whether it's squats, is critical. And also being able to go and laugh with some friends and get off the computer and don't think about working is so important. I didn't realize how important laughter was until it was 5:30 in the morning and I was so sleepy. It was just so much fun laughing. So
but what's also critical, Nick, to what you're saying in reference to the getting away from the computer and going and laughing is that essentially that's the formula for planting seeds and letting them grow, right? It's when you plant a tree, you don't sit there after you plant the seed in the ground and just look at the tree or look at the ground where the seed is. You don't do that. You don't sit there and watch grass grow in your yard in the spring. No one does that. You just know that it's there and that it will begin to grow. And, your kids, for example, right? You're with them every day. You know they're growing, but you don't physically see them growing like right before your eyes. The physical eye doesn't see them stretch out. You look up one day and you're like, oh my goodness, look how tall you've gotten there, how big you've gotten, whatever. And it's the same thing with our businesses. And so to plant the seeds of what we're doing, we're blogging every day, we're marketing every day, we're reading and we're listening to our audios and, jumping on these hangouts and sharing all this stuff, to be able to shut the laptop down or cut the computer off and go away, that is when the grass is going to start to grow. And, I can't tell you how many times that I've sat at the computer for hours and hours and hours and nothing happened in terms of a sale or a sign up or an upgrade. But as soon as I would shut the dang thing off and go away for a few hours and go to the movies or go laugh or have fun, all of a sudden sales come in. And that's where we kind of started the whole thing with the, at the basketball game sales funnel. Right? Sitting on the boat at the lake sales funnel, because the money usually happens when you're away doing something. So, if anything else, do your work and go do something else, because that's when the sale is going to happen. When you're sleeping, right? How many people on our team say, oh my God, I woke up and I had my first sale, right? Because you were asleep. You weren't worried about the business and you weren't focused on the business. You did what you had to do and you went to go chill and you let it cultivate. So from a mental perspective, that's the way the laws work. And if you want them to work in your favor, just get away. Go do something else. Get a life. Go downstairs. Do something. Get away from the work. Anybody want to add anything on that?
Yeah, I'm gonna just say, you're really gonna ban me now, but I'm just gonna talk about raw foods for a little bit. And it's about, just going back and kind of bringing it full circle to what you were talking about earlier in terms of eating right. Because one of the things that was, I guess, bad about when I first started working out, I had no energy to do anything because I wasn't eating. And there were times, yes, Tracy and Nicole, that I would go like for hours and hours and just don't eat. I was just being lazy, to be honest with you. And I just didn't feel like it. And there were times when I was just working, just didn't feel like it. And it is so important to keep up our mental strength when we eat right. And I would also obviously advise also, and just put it out there, that raw foods obviously is like one of the best. Incorporating raw foods into your lifestyle, like, you know, fruits, vegetables, uncooked. You know, have some carrots. It's okay. Eat an apple. It's okay. Eat a banana. You know.
I ate 2 bananas yesterday, Keisha.
Woo! Lots of potassium. Yes. Yeah, and so incorporating those foods, those live foods, into your diet will also keep you energized so that you can do your IPAs and so that you can do a lot of things that you need to do in order to have an effective and a successful day too.
Awesome. I was getting ready to try to respond. Okay, Shalonda, you were asking me about the At a Glance. This is, it's 2013. It's called One Day Per Page. That's what it's called. So essentially, it's a daily planner, and then it just has like the months down here. So there is no month with days on it. It's just a daily situation. If that answers your question. Yeah, guys. So we, absolutely, Keisha, eating the fruits, the vegetables, and things that give your body the natural energy that it deserves to have anyway, as opposed to the artificial sweeteners and the sugars and all these different things that basically suck the oxygen out of our cells and our bodies. It's not going to be helpful. And just from a business side, it slows down your creative process, and if you're gonna put your IPAs into a 2-hour period of time, and you might not know exactly what those 2 hours are right now. I'll tell you, my 2 hours have changed quite a few times because you're trying to figure out where it is. Nicole's is at 4:30 in the morning, where for me, I would be completely dead in the brain at 4:30, right? So I couldn't do it exactly when Nicole did it. Maybe you can't do it exactly when I do it. Before, this phase of my life, my IPAs were really better off for me between 10 and 12 at night, because it was just easier for me to work then. And prior to that, during the day, I was always on the phone a lot. I was constantly doing calls and trainings. Now we've kind of eliminated a lot of that, and Power has helped us to do that. So now I can work in the mornings. But eating that good food and getting your day rocking and rolling, and not eating so much heavy stuff to get your day started, will be beneficial. It will allow you to be more creative. The rest that you get, I think I was looking at Dr. Oz yesterday a little bit. I caught some of it, and they were doing I don't know if anybody saw it, but they were doing a sleep pattern situation, and they were saying that the ideal number of hours of sleep is 7 to 8 hours. Mm-hmm. And anything, I think it was, if you slept 0 to 4 hours, you're essentially like sleep deprived. And what happens is, when you don't get enough sleep and rest, your body can't heal itself, it can't regenerate, it can't do a lot of things that it needs to do, because you're not giving your body enough downtime to do what it needs to do on its own. And if you sleep over that 7 to 8 hours, then you're oversleeping, which means that your metabolism slows down and your appetite goes up. So you actually gain weight the more that if you sleep over the 7 to 8 hours. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I have always, it seemed like my whole life I've needed like 11, 12 hours of sleep. And I'm like, oh God, Dr. Oz. So, I'm trying to calculate, well, do I sleep 7, 8 hours? Like, okay, I'm trying to figure it out.
Who does that? How do you sleep 11 to 12 hours and make the kind of money you make?
You know, girl, I've been like that my whole life. Like literally, my mother would be like, "Get your ASS up." It is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? And coming through like my high school years and stuff, everybody used to always say, "Are you pregnant? Are you pregnant?" Because I would sleep so much. And even now, you know, my dad is like, "Well, I know not to call you before 8, 9 o'clock in the morning because there's just no way you're up." You know. I don't know. I've just always been like that, but I'm a night owl, you know, so I might not be up early in the morning, but I'll get my work done still at night, Nick, I guess is the thing. It's not like I'm not getting the work done. I'm just not doing it at the time everybody else seems to be, you know, moving about the country. So I'm working on changing that where I'm kind of sticking in my 7 to 8 hours because, you know, I'm 36. I'll be 37 this year. And I'm thinking, you know, around this age anyway, your metabolism starts slowing down. Women, our body starts to do different things. And, you know, the last thing I want is to, you know, swell up purely because I sleep too doggone much, you know, or be a critical factor. So I'm trying to change that now before it's too late. I'm trying to be proactive is the key word that I'm saying here, being proactive in this whole situation.
I want to add one more thing before we wrap this up that Fanice Dunson added that I think is really critical, because I actually did a training yesterday where I talked about how to work smart and not hard, and we talked about basically understanding how to know what you need to do for the day so that you can get to the money so you're not wasting a lot of time. And I think what happens is as entrepreneurs, we basically shared how a lot of us have grown up with very poor habits. We're not, you know, pretty disciplined people. We do what we want, when we want, how we want. Or you have a job and people always are watching over your shoulder and making sure you're doing what you need to do, that when you start working for yourself, you don't know what to do because you're used to someone telling you what to do. And so that whole training was about basically how when I got started, the only real way that I learned how to be productive was by watching you, Tracy, when she used to do webinars. I used to watch everything on her screen, all the icons and the folders, and when she would have different things opened up, she would go and pass through it. I'm like, whoa, 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 go back there. What was that you just went to? That's when I learned that she had a schedule that she worked on. And she taught us how to, she thought it was everybody knew to have a schedule. I'm like, girl, people ain't, you a robot. Human beings don't have stuff like that going on in their brain. They think, yo, I work for myself. I can watch Jerry Springer. I can catch up on Real Housewives. Maybe I'm going to shoot out a blog post or something. But they said, I'm going to be rich. I ain't got to do nothing. But I say all that to say that Fanice said, she shared that one of the best things that you can do is to get dressed when you wake up in the morning like you're leaving for work. And it actually helps you to be more productive. And honestly, y'all, that is my secret. When I get up in the morning, before the kids wake up, I'm showered and getting dressed like I'm about to go hop in a car and drive in traffic and get to an office building. And one of the other things that I've noticed about me is I work better when my shoes are on because I feel like I'm going somewhere. I feel like I'm doing something. So I got to put my shoes on when I sit down at my desk. For some reason, having those shoes on my feet and me being fully dressed, I do makeup and everything, so that if I choose to just whip the camera on and shoot a video, I'm already in gear. So I just wanted to share that tip because a lot of you guys, you really, I found out yesterday when I did that training and I shared with them, I'm like, all this came from me watching Tracy because Tracy was real disciplined and focused and structured, and I was never, ever disciplined. I didn't want to live by anybody's rules, and I realized how poor my work habits and work ethics were when I actually started working for myself and how I had to work on that. And little tricks of the trade that made a difference for productivity. Because, see, a lot of y'all have the information on what to do, but it's the behind the scenes on how you should go about actually executing on those things. What does your day look like? What should your schedule? You know, I told everybody, identify what your marketing strategies are. If you know that you're going to blog daily, then you need to have a checklist of what is entailed every single day when you do a blog post. So if I'm going to do a blog post, once the blog post is done, I'm going to actually syndicate the blog post. If you're using Hootsuite, then I'm going to email this blog post to my list. Have a checklist so that every day it's routine. It's already pre-prepared. If you shoot videos or whatever it is, you just document every step in that process so that your IPAs, like Tracy has, look, I listen to everything Tracy tells us. I done wrote down what Tracy just said. I got my meditation, my productivity hour 1, my mental exercise. I don't know what she mean by mental exercise. We're going to figure that one out. But I'm going to put that in my phone. I do whatever Tracy does. Y'all, don't try to recreate the wheel. When I see my leader doing something, yo, it's going into action mode immediately. So my iPhone shall be programmed tonight for meditation at 7:30 a.m. Might not quite work out with 2 little ones. So just wanted to throw that out there and share that with you guys, because I realize a lot of people, if you're working from home for the first time, you have the whole day and you're just staring at the computer like, now what do I do? Oh, I'll watch training, and I'll keep watching training, and I'm just going to watch some more training, and you watch all this training, and you don't do nothing. Then you're like, well, I ain't made no money, because you ain't done nothing. So anyway, just wanted to put that out there.
No, that was awesome, Nick, and I think that's an excellent note for us to end on tonight. I really want to thank everybody for contributing to this initiative. This is new for us. This is our very first Girls Just Want to Have Funds, and I look forward to doing this every month. This hangout will be done every second Wednesday of the month. Okay, this is our designated slot as far as the Dream Team AIG is concerned. And so every second Wednesday, we'll try to come up with some themes and have things ready so we have at least some idea. Whereas like tonight, it was essentially everyone or any woman who has made at least $10,000 was a panelist, as well as Miss Kiwi, because, you know, it is her name that we stole. So that's fair enough. I'm going to stop saying stole. We borrowed, right? Thank you, Kiwi. And so we'll come up with something cool for our next Girls Just Want to Have Funds. And, you know, I think some pretty cool things that we could do. Maybe we could even have, you know, like a video. I mean, Nick, we'll talk about it until because I know you're super creative with stuff. But I'm thinking, you know, a little segment where when we show these on replay, we could have a little intro. And you know how the video, you have an intro to your video and an outro to your video. We could have a Girls Just Want to Have Funds intro and outro. And when we share these with our list, it's kind of like an ENTV episode, right? And people get used to, you know, the brand and interacting with us and really what we're all about. So I have some great ideas for what we can do as we move forward. Thank you guys so much for taking time out of your day. And make sure you join us next month. We will have another time to do this before we get to Chicago. So that's going to be phenomenal. We want to make sure we get as many women to Chicago as possible, as many families as possible, and at some point in time get a chance to hang out and take a Women of the DTAIG family photograph with all of our Girls Just Want to Have Fun shirts or something like that. I think that'd be cool too. So guys, whatever you got to do, once again, please get with Kiwi McDowell. Get on her Facebook, inbox her, get the information. I've got to get over to your page, Kiwi, myself to see what you got going over there, girl. Thanks so much for all that you do and sharing your idea with us. And good night, ladies. See you next time. Bye.
Wait. Before we close, I see something in that background that I think everybody needs to see that's going to close us out. Can you just shift your computer stage right, please?
So I am $100,000 per month.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the envisioning that I think we can take home with us tonight. All right. I am a $100,000 per month earner. I think a project for all of us to do is to go write that down right now and put it on our wall in our offices so we can see that every day as we close out. I think that would be a wonderful closing. So thank you, Madame Tracy Walker.
Oh, you so welcome. Put whatever number is a stretch for you, but is still, you know, within your belief zone. Okay, if it's so far out your belief zone, then you'll contradict it. You'll contradict it no matter what. But, you know, I look at that number. Sometimes I get scared. If I'm honest, sometimes I look at that number, I'm like, oh, Lord, what in the world? How? Or I want to say how. And then I have to remind myself, how is not our job. That's God's job, the how. Anything can take place. Miracles, mountains get moved, and the way that you can consciously construct a how may not even be feasible or physically possible compared to the way that God could do it. So plant the seed, go do something, right? Do your daily activities, keep your head down, don't worry about it. Mental activities, envisioning that, seeing yourself with that, on stage with that, with a big check with that, hearing David Wood and David Sharp congratulate you, saying your name out of their mouths, hearing that, and asking you, what did you do to do that, and give you a chance to speak your story on how. Hearing all of that when you close your eyes and seeing it, whether it's at an event location, an event scenario, or whether it's on a call, whether on an Empower Hour call, or whether it's one of us in a hangout asking you about how you did it, however you see it is the way that it's most likely going to occur. So do it whatever way you want to do it. You are the creator of your life. And so it's my pleasure to share my vision with everyone so that you guys know that I'm not just talking about it, I'm being about it, and I got to get my mental exercise tonight because this is what I'm doing. For the next, those of you guys that are reading Psycho-Cybernetics or whatever, if you got the book or you're listening to the audio book, for me, I'm listening to the audio book because I've got 2 other books I got to read, and it was just not going to happen. But for the next 21 days, essentially, I'm going to be taking 30 minutes to envision myself with this, okay? And it's going to take practice. How do you get good at anything? Practice. Sometimes our mental pictures get fuzzy because we haven't exercised our imagination as much as kids do, right? We get caught in the logic, and it snatches our creativity away. So I'm working on getting back into that and practicing it, and I will tell you it's challenging for me. Sometimes I'll get going in a vision and then something will happen and I'll lose sight of it. I don't know where it went. I get distracted, and I have to continuously pivot, get my mind back focused, and go at it again and go at it again and go at it again. And after 21 days, I said you can form a new habit. So clearly I want to be in the habit of seeing this so that it becomes the fruit of my labor. So same thing with you guys. Practice it. By no means is it easy. Lorena, I'm going to tell you and Nikki right now, I'm starting this process right now. Now, when I first started my meditations, I told you I was doing these meditations, right? At the day I started, I told you I was doing it, okay? So I'm telling everybody right now, I'm just starting this week, right? This week, I'm starting this mental 30 minutes envisioning myself being awarded or being celebrated, being, showcased and upstaged by our company for that accomplishment. All right. And I'm going to
Psycho-Cybernetics, you said?
Psycho-Cybernetics.
Maxwell Maltz?
Maxwell Malton, yes, that's him.
Yeah, I already pulled it up.
And that book was recommended by Vic. Okay, our number 1 earner, Vic. And so, I said, oh, wait, what? He said, you read what? I went right there, and I didn't have time to wait. I said, audiobook. I need to hear him now, whatever this man is saying. A man that makes $1 million in 30, 60 days, I need to know what he know, Yeah.
And I started reading it this week, too, so it's good. It's good stuff.
Absolutely. All right, gang. So go set your intentions, get your mental exercises going, read Psycho-Cybernetics, listen to Psycho-Cybernetics, whatever else that you're reading and training reprogramming yourself on, stick to it, stick with it. And we'll see you guys at the next Girls Just Want to Have Fun's Hangout for April. Bye, everybody.
Dream team. Bye. Can y'all see it?
Yes.
Dream team.
Yes, Felicia.